I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, December the 22nd, brought to you in part by Performance Livestock Analytics. Manage your feedlot operation anywhere, anytime with Performance Beef. First thing I want to do is this is our last feeder flash before Christmas, and I want to wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas from DV Auction. We're your biggest and longest running real-time auction broadcaster, specializing in production sales. And all of you guys that have production sales coming up here this spring, we want to get those booked for you as quick as we can. Due to the social distancing and crowd control and everything, we've had a lot of success in getting buyers to your sale virtually through the online pattern there, and we want to continue to do that. Be sure and get your auction booked because we are starting to fill up our calendar for the spring. Not to say we can't get you in, but we want to get it booked and get to planning on that as quick as we can, promoting it and get you an online catalog put together and all that. But we want to thank you for that. National Beef Wire, your newest and best source of anything cattle and beef. NationalBeefWire.com has got a jillion different channels with just about anything you might want to be interested in as far as cattle goes. It's got real-time feeder cattle market quotes streaming on there all the time. It's absolutely the fastest form to get any kind of market information that you might want. If you guys are interested in one of these National Beef Wire TV screens like you see over my shoulder whenever I'm at the home base, and have you seen in a lot of the auction markets that you go to that contribute data to us, if you've got a sale barn or if you've got a feedlot and you're interested in a National Beef Wire TV, get a hold of us. We'll fix you up. It's got all your futures quotes on there. It's got all your real-time feeder cattle market data that scrolls across there, the absolute latest and quickest, so you can get it anywhere. That data comes across those National Beef Wire TV screens usually is faster than they can get those cattle pinned back at the sale barns across the country. And it's a real good source of information to keep you just absolutely up to date, real time, all the time. Plus, the middle meat of the screen has got news that's being put on there continuously all day long as far as market information, weather, any kind of ag market news. It'll just, if you're kind of watching that thing through the day, if you're in an office setting or like I say in an auction market or something, it'll absolutely keep you up to date as you can be. And then finally here on the feeder flash, tell you what, I'm so happy of the contingency that we have here. We've got so many followers. I'm humbled by it. We are arguably the most followed market information as far as cattle as you can get anywhere, and it's on a daily basis. And I've told you guys lots of times, every day comes around pretty regular, but that's what we have to do to keep you guys informed. And we've got so many dedicated listeners that listen every morning, and I'm just tickled to death. I appreciate all of you guys. I feel like all you guys are my friends. That's the way I feel like I'm talking to you. But I've gotten so many videos and pictures of people watching it at the breakfast table with their family, people watching it with babies, you know, in a crib really close there, and supposedly listening in. I've gotten videos or pictures of guys watching it in a bunkhouse before they go out to work. I've got all kinds of videos and pictures of guys listening to it, and it tickles me to death. The main place that I feel like most of y'all listen, I've never got a picture of that, and that's on the pot. But you guys, you know what I mean there. And your wives have tattled on you, because I hear wives when I'm out and about, and I meet people that are regular listeners to me. Their wives tell me that they hear my voice coming from underneath the bathroom door. And if that's where you guys get it, I'm glad to help you guys through that part of your day. But it's not easy to be a Feeder Flash gang member, and that's just a term. That's not anything cocky I'm putting out. It's something that my good friend Jim Felton up in Springdale, Montana, with Felton Angus Ranch. He coined that term, and it's kind of stuck. And we've got all kinds of social media that's coined as Feeder Flash Gang, but I feel like you kind of got to be a gang member if you're a regular listener. We only speak the truth on here. You got to be kind of tough-skinned, because I'm gonna give it to everybody in every end of the industry. But I hope most of you guys appreciate that. And we've got one whale of a following. Some people think maybe we should get more views. Well, we don't post it on social media where every time you scroll by it starts up and you get another view. We don't do it like that. We post it. If you want to listen to it, you go on and listen to it. We've got so many viewers, we can't hardly keep track of all the different ways that we get it. We feel like we're somewhere around 10,000 a day individual viewers, and that's huge, guys. That is really, really big, especially when we're not posting pictures of baby kittens or miniature goats or anything like that. We're doing, you kind of got to want to know about the cattle market, and you kind of got to want to know about the preserving Western heritage, and you kind of got to want to know about the cowboy and the auction method of selling cattle. And that's what we promote here on the Feeder Flash, and just tickled to death that as many of you watch it as you do. The folks that help sponsor these programs, they say that they get positive feedback. They get people inquiring whenever we talk about them. We like to give mentions on markets that have gotten impressive quotes all around the country, and they don't have to be DV auction broadcasters, and many times they don't even have to contribute to our national beef wire information, but we like for them to. But just want to reiterate, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. The best, I'm going to talk to you a few more times before the new year, but this will be my last broadcast here before Christmas, and then we'll hit you guys a couple of times early next week before the new year, and we'll talk about what's going on then. But getting down to what's going on right here leading up to Christmas, we did have news on Monday that we're going to have more COVID aid coming out. I'm not sure where all this money's coming from. I guess they're just printing more of it, which if that's true, that means the money that you have now or had before is worth less. But still, you know, a lot of people need it. There's a lot of people hurting out there, and a lot of it has to do with the COVID shutdowns and just the lack of business. These small business owners are struggling. It sounds like we're going to get about $600 a person out there, but it also shows that they appropriated more money, and we're going to get something in more form of a CFAP. And I poked fun whenever we got the CFAP money, and said that I wished a lot of, we had used more of that CFAP money to build more packing plants, more smaller regional packing plants. I still wish we'd have done that. But, since that money's come out, and since I've been traveling around talking to a lot of producers and stuff, that money saved a lot of people, a lot of cattle producers. It absolutely was the difference between them going under or being able to hold their head above water. And it turned some of your outfits that were just barely going to scrape by, it made them profitable. So, it's like I said when it was coming out the first time, they have signs in Yellowstone Park that say, don't feed the bears, and it's not because they care whether a bear eats your hand off. It's that if you start feeding the bears, then the bears will forget how to hunt. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want to become accustomed to getting bailouts from the government like your row crop farming industry has gotten. And whenever you start putting government bailouts into your farm program, then you know that you're kind of in a losing process, because they could take that away at any time. But still, the CFAP money, and we'll find out, I guess, here after the first of the year, how it breaks down, or how we're going to get that money divvied out. But it looks like it's going to come for people that marketed cattle after April 15th. So I got plenty of markets here to give you leading up to Christmas. We'll get into it. Look at your board on Monday to open the week. December live cattle futures up 12 cents at 110.60. February was down 20 at 114.65. You go on out from there, it was up a nickel to up 67 cents. But the board's being pretty supportive here of late and going to the end of the year here and through the holidays. You look at that at our spot live cattle contract, which is going off very soon, 110.60. So we figure we're going to have to get at least steady money or better this week, or people will just start delivering like crazy. But I think we should hold steady, and steady is $1.08. It's not the $1.03, $4, or $5 that you got in the Northern Plains, because the market is $1.08. And you look on out into February, 114.65. Tell you what, we get within just a week or so, we come out of the new year, we're going to be looking at that 114.65 as our spot market. And guys, you better get ready to dig in and start demanding more money for your cattle, because you're due. Let's talk about your feeder cattle futures. January feeder cattle up 17 cents at 140.62, and still pretty handsome out there. March is up 82 cents on Monday at 143.12. That looks pretty good. And you look on down the line as we get into spring and summer next year. These feeder cattle futures look really good. Now that doesn't mean that's going to happen, but you might be able to sell your cattle off that board out front. If you guys like what it looks like, get you a basis trade deal on there and get those cattle, or just hedge them and take your position there and pretty much lock it in. You can go through that government program and you get a little assistance there doing that. That's a pretty good deal. So pay attention to that. Don't just sit and look at it with starry eyes. You need to take some action and either do a hedge on that. If you've got calves and you're going to be selling feeder cattle, or your background in some calves, you're going to be selling feeder cattle out then, get a hold there, and then you can kind of lock your price in. But going out further on your feeder cattle, up 60 cents to up $1.02. So very strong on your feeder cattle futures, right in the face of continued higher grains. I tell you what, corn was up moderately again, and when we're getting corn up on the top side of $4 here, and a lot of people think we're going to have a 5 as a front figure on this corn sometimes, and we haven't seen that for a long time, and we're going to have to take that into account. But like I said many visits ago, we said high grains equal high cattle, and that's because people won't feed them quite so long. They'll peddle those cattle quicker, and a quicker turnaround on them, and could make for pretty good markets out there. But man, your beans on Monday were up over 23 cents, near $12.50 a bushel. Now it seemed like just the other day they were $9 a bushel, because it wasn't that many days ago they were. But a lot of people think they're going to get into the teens pretty well. So it's a different time than what we've been used to here for the last few years. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade in your 5-area feeding region was 52,100 head. That's about half what we really like to see, but they were going into a holiday week here, and likely a lot of plants all your plants will be dark on Friday, but a lot of them are going to be dark on Thursday also, and it's just going to be a light week. And then going into another light week right afterwards. So they didn't seem to need very many cattle, but they didn't buy very many cattle the previous week either. So by the time we come out of the holidays and get into that first full week of the new year, your packers are going to be pretty well short bought. And we should be able to gain a buck or two through the holidays here and absolutely not lose any ground. But 52,100 head last week for your negotiated trade in the 5 area. That compares to 47.9 the week before. So like I said, it's been very light. Year ago, this past week, 59,100 head. But your price on live steers and heifers ranged from 102 to 108 in the north. The live sales were a lot 105 in Nebraska and Iowa there, and there was a lot of people that took less than that, which you can't do that, guys. It's not fair to your neighbors. It's not fair to yourself. It's sure not fair to your neighbors. But that's $3 lower, that $1.05. But in Kansas and Texas, where your live price is established, and in western Nebraska late in the week, the ones that held out, $1.08, and that was steady. But goes to show you how many people, bailed at the lower prices. Your weighted average on live steers for the week was only 106.12 on a $1.08 market, and that was down, only 63 cents, because we were closer to 107 on your weighted average the previous week. But still, the more of those cattle you puke under the market and off the market, that doesn't work very good. But you guys should be positive going in here. We should not see any sales other than some steady or a little bit higher through the holidays here. I talked to a guy this week already that said he sold some cattle last week for the second week of January at $1.10. And, because your packers are coming in here, like I said a while ago, we're going to be going into a spot market of February, which is nearly 115. So we need to start thinking about gaining some ground here, guys, and not just waiting to suck the board down with disappointing trades. But your dressed steer and heifer market last week, 161 to 169.50, largely 165 to 168. Which was really only steady to a couple bucks lower, but so many people sold off the market that it sucked your weighted average down, and that's what a lot of the grid people and the formula people trade off of. But your weighted average on dressed steers last week, 165.29, that was nearly $2.50 lower, when your core market wasn't that much lower. But you just got to hang in there. And it's a lot of you guys, I hate to call you out, but it's a lot of you Iowegians up there. You got to hold in there and hold out for some money. Don't sell lower just because that's the first offer you get, and sure don't do it on a Tuesday. But you guys that need help, because that's what sets us off early in the week so many times on a lower market, is some smaller cattle feeders selling off the market or not really knowing where they need to be pricing their cattle. And I tell you guys, you need to get some help with that. They've got cooperative marketing outfits that can help you sell those cattle. You show them your cattle, tell them what you got, let them handle it for you. They'll do it for a lot of other people and get enough leverage in there where you can get a good price. It won't cost you very much, just a few bucks a head, and you can get them sold, and it helps everybody out. Get a hold of Producers of Omaha there. Joe Hoffman's a representative. He can help you out there on the western side of Iowa. Also you can talk to Iowa Cattle Marketing there with Mike Schwartz, and he's over there mostly on the east side, but he can handle it anywhere in the state or surrounding states for that matter. But get a hold of somebody to help you market those cattle. Don't be selling them off the market, especially early in the week. It's killing us. Nationwide, your sales last week negotiated were only 60,600. That includes everything from Pennsylvania all the way out to Washington State. But 60,600 head negotiated nationwide, 258,000 formula. That's making a lot of sense. 31.5% of that 60,600 was 2 to 4 week delivery, a little over 19,000 there. But still, your packers are definitely going to be short bought coming into the new year, and it's time to gain several dollars in bunches, guys, when you get ready to do that. But what's going to happen this week? We haven't heard anything happen so far. Of course, it's just Monday that went by, but everybody figuring they're going to price them like normal, a buck or two higher. Sure, not take anything less than steady, and we don't expect people to do that. And with it being such a short week, they better get hustling if they want to get some cattle bought either on Tuesday or early Wednesday. After that, nobody's going to answer the phone. What else is going on around? I told you there wasn't a lot of sales going on this week, but I'm going to tell you about a few. Ozarks Regional Stockyards, West Plains, Missouri, is having a sale here on Tuesday today. You can view and bid that sale on dvauction.com, but especially the in-house video that they're going to have. You can view and bid on that in-house video. They've got 25 loads of yearlings, 10 loads of calves on there. And they had some other deals that they were looking at even Monday afternoon, trying to get some video of and get those consigned. But they've been having really good luck with the in-house video at Ozarks Regional Stockyards in West Plains. DV Auction here, we've been helping them with it, getting it put out there, and you guys can, right from your office or your home, you can put some more of those cattle together here before the holidays if you need them. Also, some sales that are going on. Bassett, Nebraska is having a big replacement special this week. They've got several replacements, and they'll be fancy. They've got some dispersals. They're going to have over 2,000 head there, and it'll be a pretty slick deal, so you might want to pay attention to that. The replacement sale starts at 11 o'clock Wednesday morning. Another sale that's going to have a sale that I didn't realize is Huss Platte Valley Market in Kearney, Nebraska. They've got about 3,500 head or so for their Wednesday sale. So there's going to be a few sales here up through Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday will be shut down. Then by the middle part of next week, we'll be going again. But let's talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on Monday late from DV Auction, 137.77, off just 20 cents from the end of last week, without a lot of northern plains and midwestern sales to prop it up. Biggest sale by far, since Oklahoma City didn't have a sale. They were closed the full 2 weeks, so Oklahoma National Stockyards won't be back until January the 4th. Joplin Regional Stockyards did have a sale on Monday, and it was a pretty big one. 7,600 head there. The market mostly steady to $2 higher, and they did have cows because they're not having their Wednesday cow sale. Cows were about steady, so we didn't see a big charge in your cow packers trying to get some cows put together right before the holiday. Maybe we could see that coming up right after the holiday, not sure. But big quotes out of Joplin Regional Stockyards. I told you they had about 50 loads of yearlings. Look at this stick out deal here from Joplin, as high as anywhere. 184 head of 871 pound feeder steers bring 138.75. Some other top quotes. How about the little market with the big prices? Sylvan Sales Commission, Sylvan Grove, Kansas. They had a sale on Monday. Had a stick out deal similar to Joplin's there. 61 head, 888 pound feeder steers, Sylvan Grove, Kansas, 137.50. But the top quote that I saw anywhere, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day, come out of Sioux Falls Regional Livestock, Worthing, South Dakota. 104 head, 985 pound big warmed up steers, 134 1/4. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.